Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster. And if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you. Friedrich Nietzsche, October 15, 1844, August 25, 1900, was a German philosopher, prose poet, cultural critic, philologist, and composer, whose work has exerted a profound influence on contemporary philosophy. You have your way. I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it does not exist. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die, as well the minds which are prevented from changing their opinions, they cease to be mind. The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. A thinker sees his own actions as experiments and questions as attempts to find out something. Success and failure are for him answers above all. Beware that, when fighting monsters, you yourself do not become a monster, for when you gaze long into the abyss gazes also into you. The true man wants two things, danger and play. For that reason, he wants woman as the most dangerous plaything. All things are subject to interpretation. Whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power and not truth. Today, as always, men fall into two groups, slaves and free men. Whoever does not have 2/3 of his day for himself is a slave, whatever he may be, a statesman, a businessman, an official, or a scholar. To predict the behavior of ordinary people in advance, you only have to assume that they will always try to escape a disagreeable situation with the smallest possible expenditure of intelligence. But it is the same with man as with the tree. The more he seeks to rise into the height and light, the more vigorously do his roots struggle earthward, downward into the dark, the deep into evil. My solitude doesn't depend on the presence or absence of people. On the contrary, I hate who steals my solitude without, in exchange, offering me true company. Man is something that shall be overcome. Man is a rope, tied between beast and overman, a rope over an abyss. What is great in man is that he eyes a bridge and not an end. True, we love life, not because we are used to living, but because we are used to loving. There is always some madness in love, but there is also always some reason in madness. Remorse. Never yield to remorse, but at once tell yourself, remorse would simply mean adding to the first act of stupidity a second. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Of all evil I deem you capable. Therefore I want good from you. Verily, I have often laughed at the weaklings who thought themselves good because they had no claws.